Saturday, January 9th. And today's big news is a new memorandum put out by our beloved general manager talking about another $20 million that's going to have to be cut from the budget. Now, those of us that have been watching the board meetings, and I've been watching them, I've been watching Fred's report especially, and the financial officer's report. Those are the two most critical parts of the board meetings, because they're the only two people that count, actually. It was obvious to me that this was coming, because month after month we listened to the financial officer talking about their projected budget and the actual revenue. What's interesting to see, of course, is that Fred is linked. If you read his statement, what you'll see is he talks a lot about the union negotiations. You know, that's his main point. And then he's talking about we don't want to lay off any employees. So he's making veiled threats. Well, they're not even veiled. He's making threats about layoffs, and he's linking it with the union negotiations. Now, okay, there's a budget shortfall. There's big problems here. But at the same time, TriMet, under his leadership, is building more MAX lines. Okay, he's talking about budget problems, but they're building more MAX lines. They're building more streetcar lines. Okay, it doesn't take a genius to understand that if you're having budget problems, you do not expand your service. So, does he think we're all stupid and that the public is completely stupid? Maybe he does. I mean, he's expanding service. He's still running that losing train in the West. I mean, I have a contract and I have to pay the railroad now to run that thing, even though it doesn't really serve that many people, and everybody did fine before that. But that's going to continue anyway. So it doesn't wash, you know. The millions and millions he's wasted on that West and all this other stuff that's continuing to go on. You know, he talked about, well, we can't get new buses because we have to worry about jobs for Oregonians first. Well, that didn't work, did it? Because the unemployment figures are still ridiculously high. So whatever you did, Fred, you didn't help really anybody, did you? Because now you're talking about laying off your own workers. So you're trying to save Oregon jobs, but now you're talking about losing your own workers. So, you know, you're doing everything wrong, Fred. Have you noticed? You're not really making any correct decisions, it seems. I have to save Oregon jobs, that's why we can't have new buses. But now we're talking about, well, I don't really want to lay any of you off because you're our most valuable asset, but the union negotiations are going, and if we don't get what we want, employees, you're going to go to the axe. Well, Fred, first thing you should do is stop the construction, okay? Send the money back. I know you have it in Morgan Stanley. It's sitting in an account there, AAA bonds or whatever the hell you've done with it. Send it back. Tell them we can't do it right now. We'll get the money. We'll apply at a future time. I guess that's too much to ask, though, right? Is to try to maintain the services we have with our budget problem. No, you'd rather continue the expansion and hammering your employees and our riding public than to take any actual decisive action. So this is what we get from our leadership, you know. Oh, it's bad. We got another 20 million. Yeah, we all know that there's been problems, but we haven't seen any decisive action on any of these other issues. You know, how about you taking a salary cut first off of like 30%?
In a hurry, just gotta get there. Where's the people in police? They're usually right around here. I got a better idea. Why don't we hire more road supervisors? That would really help the budget crisis and solve the service problem. Hire more supervisors. Give
them a lot of overtime too while you're at it.
And tighten their belt like the rest of us. Say no to higher taxes on Oregon families and businesses, and no to more lost jobs. Vote no on Measures 66 and 67.
Yeah, nice,
For more information,
that's a
go
nice
to-
misleading ad. That's a proposed income tax increase to the business people in business making more than $150,000 a year. You see, these people have money, so they can come up with all these radio ads and flyers and stuff. They can come up with all this shit and create this propaganda campaign that the people that actually don't have the money can't. That's the beauty of America. You can buy anything. That's the beauty of American policies in general, because that's how it's always worked all around the world here. American officials go into whatever country they want to take over and they bribe everybody. And you know, when you're in a third world country, money really does talk, because you want to starve, you want to do things our way. It's very effective too. God, I just love being an American man.
Telephone. Sorry, the number you have reached is not in service at this time. Please check the number for
I love that last
What a
text.
great song. Come on, you can make it. Not gonna go. You're gonna be a pussy. Not gonna turn right on a red. Born to be wild. Well, there's no point in checking Transit Tracker because I'm sure it's not working. So I pretty much memorized the schedule here. 39 today and 44 tomorrow. So we'll get out here at least 5 minutes ahead. And it's a nice day, so you can be out. It's no big deal waiting for buses and trains when it's nice outside anyway. It's only when it's freezing out there that it's really horrible to have to be stuck out here when you could be sitting in your car waiting if the Transit Tracker was back online. Well, lately they've been right on time though. Exactly on time. Like Switzerland. It's actually a relatively nice day today. Not bad at all. Warmed up a bit. Rain stopped. Feels good. I'm going to take a little quick walk around here. It's a little quaint town of Hillsboro. So yeah, you know, the thing with Fred's letter, it's funny how he just equates the crisis to the union contract. That's all he talks about in that statement. He doesn't talk about West. He doesn't talk about expansion. He doesn't talk about administrative overhead. He just talks about the union people trying to jump on that class envy, class hatred thing that seems to be working in America right now. You know, people that hate government and all government workers, you know, what they don't seem to realize is these are Americans, okay? They're not some foreign national sucking money out of the government. These are your neighbors that work for the government. And they don't seem to get the point that it's one good thing that it actually provides is like livable wage jobs for other Americans rather than like wars and bailouts and foreign aid. You know, Americans actually getting tax dollars. Why is that such a bad thing in the minds of the people? See, they don't get it. They just don't get it. We're talking about a fairly stupid class of people that aren't educated. you just go to some of the blogs and you'll see. Listen to the comments. It's quite shocking, actually.